making sure everybody's comfortable is what we try to do. So other than the Father's Day thing, how you been doing?
Same old, I guess. I finished the big Supergirl arc, 11 to 15, and now I've been like kind of playing catch up with various appointments and podcast stuff like you guys that I was like putting off until I was done with all that work.
That makes sense.
Thank you, by the way, for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure. Thanks for being patient.
Yeah, it took a little bit of scheduling, but I'm glad we were able to make it work.
Yeah, me too.
I do imagine that's pretty tough though, cramming for deadlines and stuff like that. That's something I think none of us have really had to deal with just yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes it's fine. Sometimes I work better under pressure.
I mean, technically, Cody's had gallery showings, and I had plays that had to be done, so we had deadlines.
And I had like editing deadlines.
Yeah,
I think you're just the outlier, Simeon.
Yeah, I think that's a you problem, man.
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess I am the only one who's never had like professional creative work at that caliber. Because I've been too busy having real jobs, TM.
Gross. I don't think it's ever been. I don't think I've ever had the pressure of like, this is my job, I will get paid for it. It's more of like, it's a grade, which is like, I mean, you're paying for it,
similar.
But it's.
Yeah, but you've had an important deadline that you wanted to hit and follow.
I reckon. I'm importantly pouring popcorn into a bowl right now. Forgive me.
Jealous.
Excellent.
No, I'll never forgive you.
What if I forget you?
That would be sad.
What if I see you driving around town with the girl I love?
Oh, then forget you. God, that song was so.
That's a horrible person to quote. But it's fine, I guess.
It's fine.
It's cool.
Ay.
You must forget that person. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Normally I play games while we do this, and I think because it's midday, I'm in my collection room, and I'm going to try to breathe some life into this messy room.
That's just a fancy way of saying cleaning the room.
You play games while you have guests?
Sometimes.
No, just in general. Like
yeah. He does this with us too.
Cody will be talking to us about like a perfectly normal news story, and then all of a sudden he'll just start yelling at somebody in GTA.
I try my hardest not to let that happen. I definitely.
It has happened though.
It hasn't happened in like 6 months, I will say. So. Well, speaking of Cody, you saw the prices.
Like that. Wait, of what?
Do we have prices for GTA now? I knew the
it got like leaked on the Portugal site.
Oh shit!
I have not seen that.
Oh,
we don't have to talk about GTA.
I just wanted to tell you it. The rumors are true. It seems.
Is it $100?
Yes.
That's funny.
That's rough.
That's hilarious. That's just for like a regular game.
Yeah, regular game, and not even including collectors. It's ridiculously greedy. Ridiculously greedy.
Yeah, that's sick too.
It goes back to scalper mentality. They think they know people will pay for it.
It all comes full circle.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a justification thing of the hours that you could get out of it.
Yeah, but that's still stupid.
Stupid.
I didn't buy that with the Fire Emblem and Mario Kart. I didn't buy that with the GTA.
That's the game that everybody's been waiting for, right?
Yeah.
It literally. I know I say this every time we talk about new games, but I have never paid more than $35 for a game. That is ridiculous.
Wait, hold on. Let me pull up the Monkey Island.
Get the Monkey Island. Get the Monkey Island.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually a wait for sale person. I don't. That's a tough thing.
I am unfortunately a victim to FOMO.
I've supported every Grand Theft Auto release. Not that they need it. That's a way.
I was about to
I like
say-
how you say that like they're a little indie studio.
Yeah,
Yeah, one of the biggest game studios in the world.
that's my like Warframe brain trying to justify it because Warframe was a small company.
Yeah, and it's still like relatively medium sized. So.
They are owned by a not so medium sized company though.
Oh, I forgot.
I think it's Tencent.
Tencent.
Damn.
Tencent.
Is
Almost
Tencent
one of the-
one of your nemesis?
Not like a recurring nemesis, just like an occasional nemesis.
They had like a guest arc in the second season.
Yeah. Anyway, I should probably stop talking about video games.
Yeah, we should probably. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Modular Components. It's the podcast where people talk about things to people, and I am one of those people sometimes. Hello, I'm Simeon Scott, and I'm joined, as always, by Buster Corp.
Oh, God.
And Boinga Ryder is here.
Joseph, Jesus, Mary, whatever the fuck that.
And then there's Snowcone.
Oh dang!
But this week we also have a guest, and it's maybe one of the most high-profile guests we've ever had on this show, because we've had artists who are certainly a lot bigger than us before, but I don't think we've ever had somebody who was professionally published by a major comic book company before. Because you know our guest as the current writer and head artist on the Supergirl ongoing, but she's also done work on other iconic characters like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Mothra, as well as interesting indie titles like Shadow Eyes and Water Baby. But I first encountered her as someone who was impressive for just drawing a Rob Liefeld character completely unlike the man himself in the best way. Sophie Campbell, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thanks for having me.
It's really exciting to have you here. I got to be honest. I talk about it all the time on the show, but I am actually a huge Supergirl fan for years and years. So to get to talk to you while you're working on the book is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
He has quite literally been jittering like a 5-year-old given coffee for the past few weeks.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's close, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, no need to, flip out about it. It's all good.
Yeah. So I guess kind of the best place to start maybe is way before Supergirl. So what is it like for someone like you to get into working in comics professionally? Because I think a lot of people have very different entry points into the industry, and it's always interesting to hear what someone's is.
I mean, I came up in comics, like pre-Twitter, so there was like none of that stuff back then. So I had to go to conventions carrying that like giant portfolio and try to, show editors my stuff and like do portfolio reviews and stuff. Do people still do that? I don't know.
I've heard stories of it from other creators, but I'm not sure if it's like super common today.
Yeah, because it seems like, not like it's all like online now. Like all the I don't even do conventions anymore. Like all the networking and stuff is all through Twitter. Well, not so much Twitter anymore, but you know what I mean. Bluesky, whatever.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I don't even really pay attention to like how people come up in the current day. It's more like, oh, I saw this person over here and now they're over there, and I like both these things, so that's nice.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of gotten the impression that a lot of the like recent artists to come out of the indie scene over to the big two have been stuff like, oh, people started talking about their art a lot, and that just made Marvel or DC take notice of them.
I think that's like, I'm not an editor, obviously. I feel like I should be. I think I'd be a pretty good editor because I like bossing people around. But
Getting the real insights.
Yes. No, that's not really what editors do. But I am pretty good at shaming people into hitting deadlines and stuff like that. There was an artist who shall remain nameless where I had to kind of like, email them and be like, hey, where are those pages? And like, the artist replied to me, but not the editor. I feel like I would be a good editor, But yeah, I don't really know exactly how editors like find people, like, they like look through Instagram maybe, or like, because there isn't like there's no I feel like DeviantArt like used to be kind of big for that kind of thing, because there'd be like these really, easily accessible like galleries that you could just like click on and see a bunch of a person's work.
Yeah. The websites like that have to be a nightmare these days because it's probably like half AI anymore.
Yeah, like like I left DeviantArt, a while back. It's just like, well, this sucks now.
I mean, just from outside observation of the industry, it seems like a lot of it is like people will self-publish interesting work.
Yes.
And then Marvel, DC, Image, whatever, will come in and go like, hey, do you want to work on a project? Like I was thinking of the person who did the art for Lancer and Kill 6 Billion Demons.
Oh yeah.
But like Kill 6 Billion Demons got really big, and then Marvel was like, hey, you want to do Wolverine?
Yeah, there's definitely like, if somebody's kind of like got, buzz in like a certain space, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. I think that's like how Dan Mora got on at DC.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was doing oh my god.
He was doing Power Rangers for a while. And then I think he got DC and Transformers like around the same time.
Oh my god. My friend Tamara was coloring this indie book that he drew. Oh my god. What is it called? Once in Future.
That's right. He is the Once in Future guy.
Right. So,
I love
like,
Once
I
in
don't
Future.
know the
It's one of my
exact
favorite
timeline. I think that probably like, drew some eyes to him,
So yeah, that kind of makes sense. But like speaking of that and kind of getting back to how I found your work, how did you get the job for Glory? Was that something where another editor just saw your stuff and wanted to give you the job, or did you collaborate with the writer, or?
That was a friend of mine and the writer Joe Keating. They were like, like I had been doing kind of like these self-published mini comics that featured this like kind of muscle-bound barbarian lady, and I think that was like Image and Joe and Rob are like, just like, oh, like she can draw like muscles or whatever, and I think that kind of helped get me the job. And yeah, they just kind of picking weird kind of unusual indie artists for like each property, like Glory, Prophet, Bloodstrike.
Yeah, that was such an interesting period at Image where it was like trying to breathe new life into those characters and kind of reclaim a little bit of the identity of the company. I feel like what was it like to be a part of that?
It was super cool at the time, and like I wasn't super familiar with Glory, but I really needed a job at that point, so I was like, yes, I'll do it.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, like that's how I pick a lot of jobs where like if I'm in dire financial straits,
Will it put food on the table? Okay, let's do it.
Because like if I'm not in dire financial straits, then I'm gonna do like my own stuff if I can,
100%.
I think everybody probably has a little bit of that in them, even if they're not creative. I think there's people who are probably like, well, if I didn't have to work a 9 to 5, I'd probably just be gardening all the time.
Right. Yeah. Like you would just do your own thing if you didn't, have to worry about like where rent is coming from.
Gee, it's almost as if the entire system we're under is kind of bullshit.
Yeah. It's capitalism, I guess.
So with being a working creator, I am kind of interested. What does a normal work day for you look like? Like, do you have a set schedule, or do you just kind of vibe it out?
Oh God, I think it's like somewhere in between. Like, I try to have a set schedule, but I set out each day to have a set schedule, but it tends to end up vibing it out. Like,
Yeah.
and then, like when it's time for bed, like kind of realizing that I didn't get nearly as much work done as I had hoped.
It always fascinates me hearing like the from creatives that are like, yeah, no, I just sit down and do it, like Stephen King.
Yeah, right.
I just sit down and write 5,000 words a day.
Or like, I think I was listening to a Sanderson podcast the other day, and he said like, yeah, no, I'm actually a night owl, so it's like from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. That's my writing time, and I just go,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
How?
as
Sir,
a
you
fellow
are-
night owl, it's like I've only been up for like a couple hours, and I'll be up doing stuff until like 4 or 5 a.m.
Simeon, I hate to break it to you, I might have the Sanderson work schedule of my videos.
Hey, Simeon, I hate to break this to you. I went to bed at 6 a.m.
Yeah, I know how that goes. Who is Sanderson?
Brandon Sanderson is a fantasy artist, or a fantasy writer, excuse me, who I'm trying to get everyone else on the podcast into because I really like his books.
Brandon Sanderson. I'm looking him up.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I'm just like grinding everything to a halt while I look up
It's
his.
fine.
No, it's okay. This is good.
Oh, wait a
Point.
minute. He's the. I feel like I was reading about this guy like just recently. Oh, he's the one who finished Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of his original stuff just got optioned by Apple. That might be why you heard about him recently.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah. Also, his sci-fi stuff got optioned by another place. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's actually stuff I haven't read yet. I need to get to that, but I don't know.
No. He's a good author. I enjoy his stuff. It's not like it's gonna be like mind blowing, like reading a classic like shit, but it's like good sci-fi, good fantasy with like, hey, I am setting up a theme. I am paying off the theme. Look at the theme.
Yeah, he's very good at like having thematically strong characters that build to a definitive point by the end of the book.
Oh, I know why I've heard of this guy. Because he did White Sand at Dynamite.
Oh yeah.
That's like I've never read it, but I've seen it around.
He does also enjoy dabbling in other mediums or being one of those, because he is like one of the biggest names in the fantasy author space right now. So he likes throwing his weight around and being like, hey, my kids like Fortnite, put my characters in Fortnite. Hey, I like Magic the Gathering, make a Magic the Gathering set for me.
God, I wish I could do that.
Right?
Would we all want to be in Fortnite?
At least he uses his powers for good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is putting your characters in Fortnite, is that good? Is that
Well,
for
I
good?
mean, it was when he did it. This was like 10 years ago now.
Oh, okay. I feel like now it would be kind of for evil in some ways.
Yeah. Or Fortnite. Well, I guess not poor Fortnite.
I mean, I did like a loading screen or whatever for Fortnite, and like I didn't even know what Fortnite was exactly.
How did you get that job then?
They just emailed me out of the blue. How I get most jobs.
I mean,
okay.
Because I know like a few comic artists have done loading screens for Fortnite. I know Dan Mora did one.
Right. There was God, how long? It's all a blur. How long ago that was?
I'm gonna try to find the image.
Yeah, there was like this little burst where they were like getting these kind of like indie comic artists to no, Dan Morris. He has like indie roots or whatever, but like they were getting the different comic artists to do one, and it's just like, I don't know what this is, but they're paying me like $5,000 for this one drawing. So I'll do it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, I think I might have found it. I hope this is the right one.
Yep, that's it. It's
All
all
right.
it's all
very
distorted.
nice.
It's all distorted for some reason. I don't know what happened.
I picked it up from the wiki, so it might the compression might be.
It looks a little squished.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool though.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I was really big into Fortnite.
I mean, you
all the way
played
up until,
Fortnite
like, a
before it
year and a
was
half
even
ago.
released.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why I was still stuck to it.
Let me see
I
if I
signed
can
up
find
for.
the original JPEG here. Fortnite sketch? No.
I had signed up for the
Here it
like
is.
test alpha and was close enough to where they were doing an event and they invited me to it. But that was before like battle royales
still don't-
kicked off.
I still don't quite know what it is exactly. Other
You
than
just
that,
walk around and shoot people.
It's a lot.
It's
The
like
u-
if the MMO was a first-person shooter.
No, it's.
I
I mean, that's
mean,
completely
here's the-
wrong.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
here's the
That's
No,
the vibe I get.
Yeah.
here's the non-squished version.
I mean, it's like a regular shooting multiplayer game, but instead of having like 16 people, it's 100 people.
It sounds like a bit much.
That's cool.
It is a bit much. Maybe some. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool we managed to dig that out.
Yeah,
I've
I
always-
just I did a search for Fortnite on my computer and found it. It was very easy.
Hey, that's more organized files than me. So that's good.
So you keep everything on your computer then, huh? You don't just like send it off and then forget about it.
No, I definitely forget about it, but the search function, you can search file names on your computer. So I just typed in Fortnite and it came up.
That's fair.
It's like Fortnite something dot JPG. There it is, done. Yeah. I have lost a lot like over the years though. Like I had many years ago I had like a hard drive crash, which I feel like, everybody has had at least once, and I lost like a bunch of files. I try to save everything, for the most part.
Good on you for having a searchable file names. That's probably super important.
I mean, sometimes I do forget. I'll name it like, I don't know, something like unintuitive, and then years later I'll be like, why can't I find?
Yeah.
Realize I
Final
need-
draft for real this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I do want to kind of jump into some more specific stuff you've done over the years. I guess the kind of the biggest thing that we are all universally interested in is you're one of very few people who can say they co-created a Ninja Turtle. What was
Yeah.
that like?
That's true. I feel like it was mostly Tom Waltz. It was mostly his doing because he introduced Jenica as a human character, like in the early issue 50s or something like that. And then he came up with the idea later, like many issues later, to have her get mutated into a turtle. And then he hit me up and he's like, hey, do you want to do some concept sketches for when I pitch this to Nickelodeon? And that's how that came about. So I don't know. Tom insists that I'm co-creator, but I just designed, or I just did the character design, which I guess is important.
When it comes to big multi-creative projects like comic universes, wrestling universes, and things like that, it's always gonna be inherently collaborative. Every step of the way you are always creating part of it.
And comics did struggle with acknowledging that in the early years. So I think it's great that he goes out of his way to acknowledge you like that.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, Tom is great.
Like Rob Liefeld created Deadpool, but it was Joe Kelly who wrote the first mini, right?
I think so.
I have no idea.
But like that created the personality, and then someone else adds this little bit, and by the time we're 15, 20 years later, the character feels completely different because all these different people added different elements. Superman's a great example of that.
True.
Superman, it started as one thing, and then the radio went like, well, he has kryptonite and can fly now. And you just keep adding bits and pieces, and now we have a Superman that is distinct and pop.
Yeah. Or even like the controversy around the new movie of like, oh, his parents might be bad actually. Like that is new to the general public, but that's something that like other versions have been stealth trying for years. And this is just the first time a mainstream project has gone like, no, we'll do that.
I mean, you can kind of technically say that started post-Crisis.
Yeah, kinda.
With the way Byrne fucking wrote Krypton.
I don't want to think. Yeah.
I know you don't want to think about Byrne. That's fine. It's understandable.
He stinks.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm always just so shocked by fellas like that who are like, I have this incredible legacy. I have people who will love my stuff and always come to conventions and pay me money to write on pieces of paper or take photos with them. What if I just took a big shit all over that by being a grumpy old man?
Yeah.
And not just being like a normal grumpy old man. It's like, I can understand a typical grumpy old man. It's like, you're old, whatever. He's a weird grumpy old man.
Yeah, he's a very side eye old man. We're just like, are you okay, John Burke?
Yeah.
Do we need to check your carbon monoxide detectors?
Anyway.
I don't think I've ever read a John Byrne comic though, honestly.
I read his like indie book that he did that was like one of his like, here's how I would have did the X-Men. I think it was like U-Men or something.
No. Next Men.
Yeah, that's what it
I
was.
do remember like seeing ads for that and stuff, but I've never read it.
And I read the whole thing, and by the end I was just like, this is fucking dog shit.
I did read a good bit of his Superman back before we knew anything about how shitty he is, and I like a lot of it, but there's some weird shit in there, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, then you just go and read his Fantastic Four and go like, why'd you add such a weird? Why you added that much focus on the age gap between Reed and Sue?
Mm-hmm. And
It's
everything was She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him, and I'm glad I don't, I think.
Yeah. No, like, to give a little bit of context, Cody, in the indie comic I was talking about, later on, the main hero characters have been fighting, going through all the bullshit, and later on they get, like, sent to a dreamscapey kind of, like, everything is perfect. And they get out of it, but one of the characters is like, no, send me back. And they're like, all right, fine. And she's just gone for the rest of the book. And it's just like, the fucking, and it's like, she's weird and sad and pathetic. And it's like, what are you doing here?
That was someone I knew. I'm willing to bet.
I don't know.
Well,
I always remembered him, and I was interested in his Superman run in the first place because he's the guy after Crisis who said, what if instead of a mad scientist, we made Lex Luthor a businessman? And started that whole thing, which is obviously my preferred take on Lex Luthor. But he did it first and might have done it worst because there's so many better versions since.
It happens.
Well, I think it's also because billionaires started showing their real crazy a lot more. And it's like, oh, there's a lot more we can base this off of instead of just the daddy Donald Trump and the fucking Rockefellers.
Yeah.
Because now you look at it and it's like, oh, yeah, there's a little Elon Musk. There's a little Zuckerberg. You can see the real crazy behind the actors' choices.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's that moment where Superman's getting the crap kicked out of him in the new movie, and it just cuts to Lex like chuckling to himself, and he looks like he's getting genuine pleasure from it, and it's like, what is wrong with this guy?
You think that's just we've gone far enough to where people are just drawing inspiration from comic book villains as opposed to like being the inspiration for the comic book villains?
It could go either way, yeah.
I mean,
There-
Peter Thiel's technology is literally called Sauron, isn't it?
There's
God.
there are legitimate people out there who like actually watch Star Wars and think that the Empire are like the good guys somehow. Like they make it through the whole film and they're like, wow, I love the Empire.
Yeah, and they're
unironically.
the people J.J. Abrams was talking about in The Force Awakens.
I like the Empire though; they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they got cool ships.
Yeah.
As the
Got
Star
cool
Wars
outfits.
detour said, the Empire's pretty chill though.
Cody, I wonder how much of the Empire is actually good. It's because of the Thrawn novels.
I doubt it's any. I mean,
Well, that
maybe
would
there's like
imply
a
they can
handful of
read.
people. Yeah, that's what I was about to. Like, you're putting a massive amount. Like,
It's like that's like.
you could be a fan of the Empire, just like you could be like a interested in history and like different like factions, different like things that they use. But like to watch the movie and have the takeaway of like these guys are the good ones.
Yeah.
The movie is telling me that these guys are the good ones, and that's my take on it. That's a little bit different.
There are
evil-
legitimately people who have media literacy issues, even understanding that the Empire is supposed to be America, though.
Yeah. That famous tweet where it's like, well, that would imply that the Empire is the United States. That wouldn't make any sense.
Being led by a black cloaked goblin space wizard. Like,
Mm.
You can say
clearly-
Dick Cheney.
Yeah. No, I mean, just people thinking that the Empire is good when it's
Oh yeah.
run by like this, shriveled warlock or whatever.
You just while you're playing with your Star Destroyer toy, you just gotta shake your head at all the Empire's crimes.
I love my giant genocide ball. What do you mean I like the evil guys?
Right.
They're just misunderstood, all right? We don't
They
get
just
it.
want to bring order. They just want calm.
Look, there's a perfectly reasonable and non-racist reason why everybody in the Empire is a normal human and there are no aliens.
Mm.
I guess later they did change that, but
they got Thrawn. He's
Yeah, but here's the
But,
thing. I
like,
think
part of Thrawn's backstory is that it's exceptional he got to such a high rank.
yeah, like they let in the Star Trek aliens. They don't let in the Star Wars aliens.
right.
You're human enough. It's literally holy shit. It is literally the idea of white passing and being accepted.
Oh my god.
Or Pikmins.
Yeah.
Pikmin, yeah.
I wish Pikmin.
Somebody
Man.
should try and sneak Pikmin into a Star Wars movie. That'd be great.
They already
I mean,
snuck
they-
them into a Mario Galaxy movie. I don't think we need. You know what? They got their movie quota for a lifetime.
At this point, I don't need to see that movie because Buster's just going to spoil every single thing about it for me.
They spoiled it in the marketing. What am I supposed to do? There's literally only one surprise I saw in the theater. Anyway. That's a story for another day.
Damn.
All right, let's get back on track here.
There was a track?
There was for a second. Jesus. So Sophie, I was rereading a lot of your stuff today, and I kind of noticed a lot of it tends to have similar things going on thematically about healing and finding a new way of living after some sort of change or transformation. Like Shadow Eyes is definitely about that. There's a little bit of that in the early parts of your time as writer on TMNT. Mothra's got some of that, and I think you could even make that argument for sort of what's going on with Lesla in Supergirl. Is that something you do intentionally with your books, or is that just subconsciously happening?
I think it's probably a little bit of both.
Hmm.
I guess the root of that is, one, it's like kind of dynamic where like, you want to see people kind of like pick up the pieces, so to speak, which is fun for me. And then seeing how they do it, how they like build something, like whatever they're building is bad or good. And in Shadow Eyes, it's kind of like she is transformed against her will, which is something that I like. And then trying to like make do with being whatever it is, like, like you're personally transformed into something else against your will, or, like your environment is like transformed against your will in some way. And then, figuring out like what to do with that. And I think the thing with like in Ninja Turtles, it's like that was like partly Tom Waltz, where he had like the mutagen bomb go off at the end of his run, and
He
it
kind of
created
left you a mess to clean up.
right, exactly. And he had like all these new mutants, so it was kind of like, he like lobbed a grenade and then was like, "See ya." And then I had just like, well, now there are all these mutants that I have to like kind of account for. And if I'm going to do that, like I'm going to go all in and do this kind of like Escape from New York kind of thing where like, it's, because I love a good post-apocalypse kind of scenario.
Yeah.
And, that was like, there'd already been 100 issues of IDW Turtles at that point, and I'm just like what else? Like, what haven't we done yet
Mm.
with the Turtles? And so now there's a whole bunch of mutants, and people like the public knows about mutants. So does that mean it kind of? I don't know if you guys have read the Mirage Turtles Volume 4 by Peter Laird and Jim Lawson, but that is like one of my all-time favorite Turtles comics and just runs of like any comic. And in that series, aliens come to Earth and just kind of like settle on Earth. So there's just like a bunch of weird aliens all over the place. And the Turtles are like, well, we could just walk around in public because people would just think we're aliens. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. And so that's kind of what I wanted to do with the IDW Turtles, is like a kind of Volume 4 scenario. And seeing what the Turtles do with this kind of like brave new world, and does it go well for them or does it go wrong for them? Regardless, they have to like figure out how to live in it.
Yeah, it
And
definitely is exciting early on. I really like that moment. I think it's at the end of 106 where Jenica takes the other turtles to the metal show
yeah,
and
it's like
they're like, "Oh yeah, we can do this now. That's great."
right. And like, that's kind of some of that is like, it's my own personal thing. Just like, I went to a lot of like goth shows when I was younger and stuff like that. So I was like, I did that in Supergirl too. I'm just like, what if we go to like a goth club? That's like my fallback thing, But it's also, there's like a
Well, I
like a
mean, you're
thematic,
you're playing with outsiders. It's the
right? Yeah,
in story outsider with our understanding of the outsider in real life.
It's also just fun to see these mainstream characters thrust into a kind of subculture scenario.
right. And like, like getting like most of the time the Turtles, they just wear the same stuff. They always look the same, and it doesn't feel real,
Hey, come on, Raph rocks that trench coat and fedora look.
Yeah, but that's like his disguise look. Like, he doesn't need to wear that in the IDW comics anymore.
I was just trying to be funny.
I know. I had to
Damn.
like be super serious about it.
Most of the time, they just got belts and scabbards. You're right.
Yeah, and it's like, do they just wear that all the like, now that they're going to be part of a community, whether they want to be or
They
not?
have to actually put on pants.
Right, they have to. That was one of the reasons
They have to feel shame.
Right, because like, well, it was weird because like even before the Mutant Town stuff, like most, if not all, I guess except for Slash, but most of the other mutants were all designed to have pants. Like Old Hob, pants. Like even Mateus designed Leatherhead to have pants. And it's like at some point the turtles were the only naked ones, and I'm just like, I don't know. That's you know, how come all these other mutants wear pants? Like the Herman the Hermit Crab, who has like 4 legs, had pants. He had like 4-legged pants, you know, and it just like, especially with the turtles like running
I think-
a dojo and stuff, it's like you can't be naked and do that kind of stuff. Like you gotta have like other mutants are gonna be like, why aren't you wearing like you're just naked? It's weird.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it definitely does make sense in that kind of scenario. Though I would guess that a lot of the reason why it hadn't been done up to that point was probably that general public just looks at the Ninja Turtles and just thinks like, oh, they just look that way. That's their superhero costume.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's you know, it's like that's what's on like the merch, and that's what, and like, you know, Turtles, it's yeah, you know, it's like kind of nostalgia driven, and like that's what people recognize, you know.
And I mean, their shell also acts in our head as character design as like clothing.
Right. Yeah.
They
It's
don't
like
look naked. The shell feels like clothing.
Right. Yeah. It covers up something that is down there that we shouldn't see or whatever.
The closest you really had to ever having a problem with that is, have you ever heard that story of how they had to change the original toys during the prototype phase?
With the tails, because the tails look like little penises or whatever. Yeah. I personally really like the tails, but I get it, you know.
Oh yeah.
Bring them back.
I'm actually thinking about getting a set of NECA Turtles that are based on the Usagi crossover, and those have like little ball jointed tails on them.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice. I love, you know, like even when I hate Ninja Turtles, I still love the old Mirage stuff. It still like gives me a kick, you know. It's like, it's so good.
So
Well,
were you were you reading that one? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Blanco.
I was just more saying, it's like, yeah, that's just classic Prime indie comics.
Yeah, it's just like that old stuff. Like, I appreciate it more now than I did when I was a kid, even. Like I can just flip through it and just get like sucked into it again.
So was that your entry point to Turtles? Did you find that when it was new, or were you a cartoon kid?
My first Turtles thing was a Donatello toy. I think even before I had seen the cartoon. Like I was just like what are these weird characters? Like who are these guys? And then like I was never a big like TV watching kid. Like I never really did the Saturday cartoon thing. Like I was always busy doing toys and like running around outside. So the Turtles cartoon like didn't really, I guess like it just didn't really hit with me. And then like shortly after that, a friend of mine had the 1985 Palladium tabletop game Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Strangeness.
Oh wow. God.
Yeah, which had all Kevin and Peter art in it. And the cover,
I think it was like one of the first pieces of merch.
I think it was the first piece, like the first license thing that they ever did, because it was like 1 year after #1.
And that RPG was also weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That's my real entry point RPG book, which I still have here, all dog-eared and stained and shit, signed by Kevin.
Oh, that's awesome.
But like, you know, so yeah, so I saw the turtles like on the cover. They have all the red masks and everything. I'm like, who are these? Like, what are these turtles? These don't look anything like those other ones. Those other ones are kind of for babies. And like, and that led me to the Mirage comics when I was like, I was like the only Mirage purist in like 4th grade or whatever. And I just like, I had all the toys and like I read and everything, and like, I was like, these are the turtles where they like stab people and they swear, and like I thought that was like the coolest thing. So yeah, my real entry point was that old RPG book.
That's probably a very unique story. I'm really glad you shared that with us. Thanks.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I've told this story like a million times. I still, it's like still so vivid to me, like seeing that old cover for like the first time and just being like, what is this? And then like I still remember that same friend, he had one of the first publishing graphic novels, which were like colorized versions of like the first like 11 Mirage issues, and he had like one of those books, like these these kind of oversized like soft cover books, and he brought me down into the basement because he's like you need to see this, but like your parents can't see it because it's really bad. And I'm just like, oh my god, like what is it? Oh my god. And there's a part where like Leonardo says ass, and like that's what he wanted to show me. And we were just like, oh my god, like the turtles swear. Oh my god. It was like so like forbidden or something.
I got in trouble for selling my cousin a copy of Pokemon Red, and one of the Charizards was named Ass. And I got a stern talking to about it.
Oh my god. I feel like that kind of stuff doesn't matter anymore. Kids are probably exposed to way more profanity now for some reason. But back then, when there was no internet or whatever, it was like serious business.
Oh yeah. Even like I grew up in kind of the early days of having easy access to the internet, and even then, like sometimes shit would feel like, whoa, this is definitely older than for me. I need to hide it.
Right. Like, oh god, if my mom sees me with this comic where Leonardo says in it, like I'm gonna get in real trouble.
Meanwhile, my mom bought me a VHS tape of Blade when I was like 8 years old.
That's kind of how it was for me too. Like I had already seen like Night of the Living Dead and stuff by that point, but for some reason, like having it like in print was like worse somehow. Like having profanity in print.
Because there's a record of it.
Right, there's a record of it, and like they can see when the turtles like like mangle the Triceraton warriors or whatever. So yeah, it felt much more illicit.
I had a similar thing happen a few years later where I can't remember which family member it was, but like somebody was at like a estate auction and bought me 2 full comic boxes of comics, and they were all Image and like Waterworks.
Oh no!
And they didn't go through any of them, and they were just like, "Here, here's some comics." And good lord, I like went through them, and like I remember bringing them home. Like some of them were like incredibly bad. Some of them were like the worst you could think of when it comes to like old like 90s Image, and like if you even know what like Waterworks is, if that's even what it was called. But like some of it was just like softcore nonsense. But I just remember like having this, and I'm like, I have to hide this.
Right.
I have to make sure. It was found, and that was given to my cousin Terry, who has a band, and he, I guess, had connections to sell it and was going to give me back the money, and I've never gotten that money. Or I don't even know how that, like, where that would have even gone, but that was just a promise. So I'm sure that was just probably a lie to a child to make me feel better about the stuff that I was gifted and stolen. But funny old times. Nothing ever happens. You're wrong.
Damn. It's not even the Big Bang?
Nope.
This is all fake. It's all a rooster illusion.
I have to wake up. This is all a coma.
Yeah. You gotta forgive yourself. It's not your fault.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Oh,
There's that
wow.
old book. I just took a picture of it.
Oh, that's so sick.
Just all beat up and
God, I love the
Yeah.
Casey Jones art right there.
it's so good. It's so good.
It's-
all the
It's so
interior.
rough. It really
It's
does feel like they just jammed it out and then we're like, here, print it.
fucking awesome. All the interior art is so great.
I always
Yeah.
love how kind of silly that era of Shredder looks.
He looks great. What are you talking about?
No, he doesn't look as sharp as like later interpretations
No,
are.
yeah,
It's like it's a normal ass helmet,
right,
like
right.
a normal mouth guard. He's not a super villain.
Right. True.
That's what I'm trying to more get across.
Yeah,
It's just like
I
quaint.
love
Even
him.
the splinter
Quaint.
is pretty dope looking right there. The style of eyes, I think, is what's selling all of them.
He almost looks like a little demon. I love it.
Oh, he's so great.
I mean, he
love
is.
it.
He can be.
So perfect. God, this book is disgusting. It has like all these stain. Like I'm flipping through it right now, just like, what is this stuff? I don't know. It's like, who knows what like stuff like my grubby 10-year-old hands like got all over this thing.
Out
A
of
lot of Cheetos.
out of the characters you brought to TMNT, who do you think is your personal favorite?
Can I say Venus? Like I know she's not like technically mine, but I feel like I made her my own.
I mean, you definitely made Venus cool. A lot of people just dismissed that character for years and years, and then you kind of reinvented her in a way that made people at least say she's a real turtle. People used to deny she even existed.
So crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I love Venus. I love Koya. I love Lita. But yeah, I think like Venus is like the main one that like I keep kind of like going back to in my head, you know.
That's a pretty solid pick too. That's pretty dope.
And like I tried pitching like a Venus spin-off and stuff like that, and like didn't happen.
I would say it's fair too, because like I don't know, if you're the one responsible for like rewriting something and like that's the version that people are like, oh, that's that character, then you could always credit back. But I can't think of like other comic characters that have happened or that have happened with, but I know it is not uncommon for like oh, this person wrote this story and like that's kind of like the default.
Yeah.
I'm not well versed enough in comics the way that most of these guys are, but I just like them and I like the characters.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, I think when there's like, especially when there's like kind of like a radical reinvention of a character, you know, it feels like more personal, like at least to me.
And I mean, it's probably also hard to do with like a big like IP franchise where IP holders going like, we need you to make sure you hit all the I's and T's right, so we can make sure we sell toys and hit the right quarter.
Yeah, Playmates is putting out this thing in the summer. Could you maybe work that into an issue?
Right. There was not a ton of that because the comics, like we didn't really get toys, really. You know, there wasn't like any of. It's not like like the cartoons and stuff where it's like more tied into the merch.
Yeah, which is crazy because I remember hearing like collectors say all the time they wanted toys of the IDW Turtles.
Yeah.
And it only just happened in the last couple of years.
There was like there was the Loyal Subject stuff that Mateus designed. And then they dropped the license, and then like they didn't even get very far really. Like they did Alapex or whatever, and that was like as far as they got. But like I was talking to them like like we gotta do Venus, we gotta do Koya, we gotta do like jumbo size Toka and Razar. and stuff like that. But then like none of it happened.
Yeah.
It
and
really
now
feels like. Oh, go ahead.
Todd, McFarlane is doing like the new stuff, which we got a little pepperoni figure, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah, that's.
I think pepperoni is like, because I hadn't gone through a lot of the IDW stuff, and I went through the I don't know what it was called, but it was like a 100-page book of like Jenica. And
Yeah,
then I
probably
was
just the
also like,
solo Jenica spinoff thing.
yeah, I was like looking up different characters, and I saw pepperoni, and I started immediately stopping what I was doing, and I was like, I want to figure out what this is. Who
All
is
right,
this?
okay. So I'm gonna change my answer from Venus to pepperoni. Because pepperoni is my most important addition to the Turtles lore.
It's that character's probably one of the cutest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And
I'm so
later, I
happy to
guess,
hear that.
dope. But definitely cute.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm very
oh my
happy to
God.
hear that.
Oh, I just lost what I was looking at. That's gone forever. Oh yeah, no. The if Koya got like a full-size figure, that would be crazy.
That'd be so good.
Um,
Like just like big wings sticking out, it'd be so cool.
yeah, like it felt like only recently that like any version of Toka and Razor were like getting any kind of attention. Like they would always have like some things, but it just didn't seem like they would get like the like fully articulated attention or like and I mean now TMNT seems to have exploded to where like there's so many different companies with the
Yeah.
IP. And now there's one big one without the IP, but I don't know. I'm assuming that like now we must be in a spot where like everything is gonna get done because like why wouldn't they? Maybe not everything, but like I don't know. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like NECA seems to be doing like they keep pumping stuff out, but like they don't really, they
do a
do
new line at like every Comic-Con. I feel
right.
like.
Yeah, exactly. Like they do like Last Ronin, but that's like as close as they've ever done to like any of the IDW stuff. For some reason, I don't know if they just don't care for the main comic or they don't think it'll sell because like obviously Last Ronin is like huge, or it was huge. I don't know if it still is, but
It definitely broke through the mainstream for a little bit.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, they're
They're
still
making
trying
a
to make
game
that
out of
video
it.
game.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
trying to do the game.
It seems so weird that TMNT doesn't just have like a collector's line like Legends or the Marvel.
I
one that's gonna be
know,
coming
right?
soon. Or like the He-Man, G.I. Joe. They have
I
like
know.
specific collectors. It's like you have a litany of great characters. You have multiple costumes, designs for like you have 3 different Leatherheads you can make.
Right.
I mean,
It
I get
does
what you're
seem-
saying in like oh, I'm sorry, Sophie.
No, it's all good. It does seem nuts. Like it's kind of like it kind of reminds me a little bit like of Playmates back in the day, where like they did have like other characters and stuff, but they would just continually make the 4 main turtles in like different outfits, like
Oh yeah.
Surfer Mike, Astronaut Raph, like that, and like that's the stuff that sells, I guess, like the turtles, more turtles, more turtles, more turtles. And it's like it's kind of like pulling teeth to get figures of these kind of side characters and stuff.
Because what would I give to have like a good, cool figure of like the Triceratons from the early 2000s cartoon? Like that design, I love it.
That might be on the way from Super.
I would not be
7?
surprised if that was coming.
Yeah, because Super 7 is doing 2000X, but I don't know when, like, what the release schedule for that is anymore. Because I thought it was going to be going a lot faster than it has been. They still haven't put out the second wave yet.
Let's see. There is a 2003 Triceraton toy, but I don't know. It's like the old one, I guess.
Yeah, like they definitely have a lot of like old school toys for a lot of characters, but I don't know. I think the only reason why there's not like a legend specific is maybe because they can't get it like nailed down. Because like We somehow
Well-
made it through a time where like there was 4 different companies producing like almost equal level or higher level or lower level, higher articulated action figures of TMNT, just in different niches.
Right,
Like Mecha
right,
was
yeah.
covering the cartoon so crazily, I assumed that everything was going to get done, and they just kept going.
Well,
Like
in
I've
like
learned
the
about
early
characters through that.
in early 2010s, Playmates did try and do a collector line. There was like those super articulated figures of the 4 original cartoon turtles and Shredder that were Toys R Us exclusives, I want to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. I do remember.
But I remember those just peg warming so hard.
Yeah,
So I
it's so
think
weird.
what happened was they probably threw up their hands and said, "We're not going to do collector stuff. We're just going to do kids stuff." And
Yeah.
maybe then all the licensors came knocking, and it was like, "We'll do it." But now there's nothing unified.
Yeah. I guess that's like, I don't know, Turtles is so, it's like simultaneously mainstream and not at the same time.
Mhm.
Where like, everybody knows the Turtles, but it's like, yeah, there's loyal subjects. They're like, yeah, like we can't sell these things anymore, so let's drop the license. It's
Everybody knows the
crazy.
Turtles, but everybody knows their Turtles.
Right, they're Turtles, right? Yeah, it's very fragmented in that way.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is just like Sonic the Hedgehog.
I think that's a little strong, but I get the spirit of what you're saying.
It's definitely something you said.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
I mean, look, they're both anthropomorphic animals who don't wear pants.
that is true.
And they both fight evil scientists.
That's true.
They both have radical 90s attitudes.
I thought maybe you meant they're similar in like a licensing perspective.
Oh yeah, that too. But it was continuing. I was more talking about like there's I've seen several like critiques of Sonic of just like, because Sonic had to reinvent itself for different eras because of its gameplay, that there's no unified idea of a Sonic, because you have like, oh, it's the classic 2D guy, he's small, cute, with a little attitude, and then you have the early 2000s full Y2K design language of the Dreamcast era and the experimenting, and it's just like, if you say you're a Sonic fan, it's like, okay, which Sonic fan are you? Like, because there's gonna be a thing that you like more than one thing or another.
Well, and I imagine the movies have made a whole unique crop of fans now.
Yeah.
And you can't please everybody by doing one thing. So you kind of have to cast the wide net for the entire fan base.
Yeah. I guess it's like any kind of big franchise, like there's like a million different Batmans and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was also going to say Transformers has kind of the same thing, though I think TMNT has a more consistent design identity than Transformers does version to version. Where like it's always going to be 4 turtles who largely look similar to each other. Whereas Optimus Prime and Megatron can look completely different depending on the series.
What are you telling me? A gorilla doesn't look like a truck?
There's some discrepancies there.
The
gorilla only looks like a truck after the original gorilla meets the original truck, and then they kind of fuse.
Does the gorilla turn into a truck at some point?
Yes, he also skateboards.
What?
Beast Wars goes crazy.
I mean, I know, but does he turn into like a furry truck?
No, I'm sure that's been done before, but
no, he turns into a robot gorilla.
So, have you heard the term transmetals before?
Vaguely. I am not a big Transformers person, so I don't know.
Okay,
that's fine.
Later on in Beast Wars, a lot of them undergo an upgrade to become that like new class of Transformers. And the thing is, they still kind of look like animals, but now they also have vehicle modes.
Okay. That makes a little more sense. I'm looking at Optimus Primal Transmetal. What does that even mean?
It's just a term they came up with to market, like, oh, we put chrome on them now.
I guess it's like transformed into metal.
Just think about it as like vac metal.
I don't see any gorilla truck modes though. I'm not seeing that here.
It's
That's
kind of.
I think that's Transmetal 2.
Okay. I'm not doubting you. I'm not saying you're lying or anything.
It is just that thing of like when you don't know the lore, it sounds insane.
Sounds insane.
I'll hit you with the ugly.
Yeah, there we go. There he
screenshot.
is. He's in chat.
What? Oh yeah, I guess I see it. He's like kind of like a vehicle after that.
He just puts his hands together, but like this is if you could think of like the Gorilla Optimus Prime, it's a direct transition from that character to this character after like the spark from the G1 Prime like merges with his. I really think. Go ahead.
Like I don't get. So the whole Transformers thing is like they're in disguise, and that's why they turn into vehicles to hide. But then
usually,
but Beast Wars, they turn into animals, but they don't look like a regular animal. You know.
So in Beast Wars, the conceit is they're on prehistoric Earth.
Right.
And there's a lot of this substance called energon that is poisonous to them in their raw element. So the animal disguises are like a shielding.
Okay. That makes sense.
Also, here's that guy on the skateboard.
Yeah, look at him go!
Oh, shit.
Actually, we're talking about funny animals that fight. You know what are funny animals that fight?
What?
Kaiju.
Rivals that face.
Yeah, the Mothra book. I read that for the first time today, and I have to say I really liked it.
Oh,
yeah, I like I read that as one of the comics in preparation because I'm I love Tokusatsu, I love Godzilla, I love Kaiju, and I like you and Matt Frank did a great job. Like,
thank you so much.
Because I read the full trade like on Hoopla, like it's like digital library, and like I really like how like it kind of like the whole thing, because I feel like I enjoy comics more like when they're all done instead of like issue to issue.
Yeah,
very rare exceptions. But like issue to issue could still be fine. But like I feel like when it's all done, it felt like an actual like Mothra movie, for lack of a better word. But like in comic, but still like uses the medium of comics really well to like tell like paneling and story.
It did give me those vibes of like an animated movie that's about getting on with a big creature of some kind of like Iron Giant or How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, God, I wish they would make a Mothra movie based on our
that would go hard.
So good.
I mean, this is probably the cutest thing that's ever hit the franchise.
Oh yeah, the new Mothra larva. Well, thank you.
My only exposure to Mothra before that book was the original 60s movie. I saw that when I was very young. Yeah. And it's good, but I remember even as a kid being like, yeah, these effects are a little limited, but I really like the way you made even the larvae form kind of badass at certain points in that series.
Yeah, well, she has to do stuff and like, figure out how to fight and stuff, and it was great. Working with Matt was like super great.
Yeah, he seems like an awesome guy. I've bumped into him at conventions a couple times.
Yeah, he is great. I love him.
Yeah, I've actually never read any Kaiju comic, and I'm a huge fan of Godzilla and Mothra, the whole Godzilla universe. This was incredibly fun to go through, but just like the art style and like the creatures, seeing the emphasis on like, especially the bugs. Like one of my favorite things to see Mothra go up against is God, they said the name like 1,000 times.
Antra?
Yeah, no, not Antra.
Megaguirus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My second favorite monster of all time.
So I don't know if it was the first appearance in the movie, but I just remember seeing like the tiny version. It was almost like the movie Alien at the beginning of the movie, where Megaguirus is just going around as like a pretty large, scary bug killing people, and slowly growing. But I think I owned the Megaguirus SH Figuarts or Monster Arts for a minute.
Yeah, it just came out like very recently.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking I might be thinking of something completely different then.
You might be thinking of like Batjar or something.
I shall find it.
Kind of a similar
It's also possible that you're thinking of a re-release because Monster Arts has been re-releasing a lot of stuff in the last couple of years. But I don't keep good track of them. So
I
I don't
mean,
know.
the Mega Gearus one is new because I was like flipping out about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely new because, like, I hate Monster Arts. Like, those figures are garbage.
Oh yeah, they're so expensive and they're such a pain in
suck.
the ass to pose.
They fucking suck, and I feel like they always get me. Like,
Have you
It
tried
was
anything
Batra.
by Haya Toys yet? Because I've heard those are
Yes.
really good.
Yes, I got the Shimo Haya figure and the Millennium Godzilla that Haya just put out recently.
Hmm.
And they're like, it's crazy. It is crazy how much better it starts and much cheaper, like half the price.
I mean, that's like a
But, like-
Bandai tax.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. But, I'm like a huge Godzilla Ultima fan from Singular Point, and the promo pictures for the Monster Arts Godzilla Ultima look great. And then I got it, and I'm like, this might be the worst figure in my entire collection. Like, this sucks. Like, they have all these like ugly joints, and like they hardly move, and like move them like slightly the wrong way, and like the arm pops off or whatever.
It was Batra, and I also had the SH or the Monster Arts 2000s Godzilla or Godzilla
Yeah.
2000,
Yeah.
and like, man, that's a really cool statue that pretends to be an action figure. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And like they did a really cool 2021 Mecha Godzilla, which is like pretty good, but it's like it doesn't fall apart for whatever reason. But then most of their other stuff is just like really flimsy and shitty. But when they announced the Mega Gearus, I was just like, like that like Godfather gif where it's like they
Yeah. I
just
think
when
we
I
all
leave
have
them out.
lines like that where it's like,
Yeah.
I hate this
Like,
line, but I'm not going to get this character anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like Mega Gearus, like I have a lot of Mega Gearus figures, but it's like, she doesn't get a number to a point where I'm like, I don't need that one because there's like a million of them. So like whenever a new one of her comes out, it's like, well, I have to get.
mhm.
You don't know when you're going to get another one.
Exactly. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, Monster Arts stinks. Haya is cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that because I got into Haya when they were only doing Predator figures.
Oh, nice. You're like an OG Haya.
Well, I got rid of like almost all of them because like they were cool. But as much as I love to say I like to just articulate and pose my figures, I like to play with my toys. So like,
Yeah.
the early Haya ones, the Predators were like they were like old like fancy GI Joes in a way, but like sometimes they couldn't articulate just the way I'd like them. And then I got like the one I can't remember. I think it was I forget his name, but he had like a pirate looking gun.
Whoa.
And like that's what I'm going off of, like looking at these Predators. I don't know their name. I'm just like I like the films. This guy looks cool. And he came with like 2 right hands and 2 right feet.
Oh no.
And I was like, I'm sure that's an honest mistake, but like you couldn't really like get him reliably online at that time, and I was finding him in comic shops, so I was just like, I'll offload him.
That sucks.
But
you got the
I
one
watch...
Predator who couldn't dance.
Yeah.
I've been watching the Haya toys specifically because of the different kaiju they're doing. Because they did was it Scylla? And I've been really wanting to try out Scylla because I don't know that like. I mean, I don't even think they've done like the regular spider character who I can't remember the name of.
Kumanga.
Yeah, I was gonna. I did not want to try to like guess that word, but
That's all good. Haya Godzilla. Yeah, they have some cool stuff though, and they feel like like they can actually move. And whereas the Monster Art stuff, it's like they have like, you know, like 5 knee joints, but it's like it still barely moves. So like, what's the point of all junk all over the figure, you know?
Every segment of the tail is individually ball jointed. Watch it fall apart and roll off your desk.
I know, it sucks. I hate it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's psychotic.
Like, they are, I don't know. Like, I remember like when I was interacting with the Godzilla 2000s figure and the Batra, I was like, wow, this thing is painted amazingly. It's very pointy. I can't do anything with it. I'm afraid to touch it because of how
Right, no,
the
right?
paint is.
Right.
But it sure is pretty. Like, they're the burning Godzilla. I used to like browse Big Bad Toy Store and just like look at pictures of that all day because I was like, man, that thing would look so cool with light coming through it. I bet it's like
Yeah.
amazing. And like when you get something like that and you're just like, all right, well, I can't really do anything with this, so here it is, big old chunk. I have a NECA Godzilla that's like Godzilla 2000, and he's got like a wire tail and he's got like more rubbery feeling joints.
Oh, that's
That
cool.
thing can like hammer in a nail if I want it to. Like,
Right.
it's like it's just fun to play with. It looks just about as good as like the guy in the suit.
Right.
And even if he gets a little dusty, he kind of just looks correct to the movie, so it's fun.
Yeah, it's like a little janky.
It's also
think
just like, you know, you want those figures to articulate, but at a certain point, enough ball joints is enough. You don't need Godzilla
Yeah.
doing crazy karate poses.
And like,
I
like,
mean,
Only one crazy karate.
yeah,
yeah,
only
there's one specific pose he needs to do.
like, you know, most of the stuff I collect is like soft vinyl stuff. Which,
Sophie.
yeah.
I saw that on
Sofubi.
your Instagram.
Yes, I am a huge Sofubi collector. So and like, you know, those, you know, they have joints just by nature of like that's how they're put together, but it's like they're not, you know, you're not really supposed to be like, you know, spinning the joints all over the place. But like, so like I'm more than fine with figures that like don't even move. You know, I have a lot of like X Plus stuff that don't move at all, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But like, if you're gonna have a figure with like a million joints and just like all these like neck pieces that kind of flop around and stuff, but you can't move it, like what's the point? Just make a figure that doesn't move that looks cool.
Just make a statue.
Yeah, exactly. Just make a statue. So it's really crazy.
Now I'm just thinking about the Digimon Godzilla crossover statue they're making, and I really want it.
You should get it.
Yeah.
Oh, the Silver Toys on sale.
Yeah, just
Why,
get it.
why don't you just get it, Boingo? It's not a big deal. Just get it.
I have been out of work for a month, you dingus.
Oh, no.
Get
I busted
back
my
to work.
finger. I do I'm stagehand, and I busted my finger open and broke my bone.
Oh
The
no.
stage actually hit his hand.
Yeah, I was doing the loadout for the touring version of Beetle.
Well, I'm looking up this Godzilla Digimon figure, by the way.
Yeah, I was trying to pull it up so I could just show it.
I'm guessing this is the one you're talking about. Oh yeah, that one. Okay, so
Oh my
yeah,
god, that is sick.
it's like $300 something
Yeah.
dollars.
How
Yeah.
big is it?
It is. It doesn't say here. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
26 centimeters.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
But they also have this goddamn little freak, which is basically a super detailed,
Oh my
hyper
god.
deformed version.
Right. It's the Defa-Real X
That's
Plus
the-
stuff.
That's
Yeah.
the thing I have in my basement that no one's allowed to. I do love it though. I feel
But
kind of
it's-
bad for it.
Yeah, no, you should. But just as like, I'm a huge Digimon fan, and there's a fun history involving Digimon and Godzilla, and to see it kind of come full circle with this.
You should get it.
Because the second wave of Digimon was supposed to be a Godzilla crossover, but Toho pulled out of the deal, and they were like, oh, we've already developed like half this shit. Let's just call them something else and release them as more Digimon.
The first statue you sent, the digitizing detail of like the yellow going into the Godzilla scales is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking up Godzilla Digimon stuff.
Yeah, one Digimon called Raramon is based off of a literally, I can't remember, it's the big slime guy.
Hedorah. Oh yeah, it's totally a Hedorah. That's cool.
And it's a lot
Oh, that
clearer
is
when you look
dope.
at the little pixel art that was on the V-Pet.
Yeah. Hey, look at him.
What a guy.
Digimon's just
Trash
great.
man.
It's very fascinating to just see how all the little things just intersect with culture. But like, here's the little pixel version. It's like, yeah, that's a lot more clear.
Oh, yeah,
That's literally hetero. Wow.
That's right. That's cute.
I love this.
That's cute. Yeah, it's like totally. It's got like the kind of like butt head at the top and everything. That's like a Tamagotchi or something, right?
Yeah, Digimon is a spinoff of Tamagotchi because
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They made Tamagotchi, and then the execs were like, "This is getting really popular. What if we made one that's focused on boys? And what do boys like? They want to fight their guys." And that's how Digimon started.
I had no idea. I did not know. Not that I'm like a Digimon person. I don't think I've ever seen it, but
Yeah, that's fair.
That's crazy. I thought they were completely unrelated.
No, in fact, there is a Tamagotchi creature that went to the Digimon thing, and
Like went with.
No, it. Okay, I'm gonna be very super brief about this. Technically, Tamagotchi and Digimon are in the same universe, but like different like multiverse things. So sometimes they can cross over. And there is a creature from Tamagotchi that got trapped in the digital world and had to become a Digimon.
Oh my god!
You had to immigrate.
Yeah, well, he had to modify himself somewhat to fit in because this is what he looks like as a Digimon.
Oh, no.
It's this guy?
Yeah,
it's horrible. I hate it.
Yep.
Oh man,
That's just what if Primeape shaved?
Yeah, you're not wrong. Trying to find the Tamagotchi. This is a guy in the Tamagotchi world.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready at all. Crazy.
He's just the little toilet guy.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And like got put in the Digimon world, and it's like, okay, cool. Now you're just fucking gross.
I hope
feel
that
like
is the scale.
if you take this Pokemon, you have an evolution line here. Just progressively less and less hairy.
Yeah, just like a ball with limbs sticking out.
If the toilet guy is just like what you look like normally, and then getting put into the Digimon world is what that is, I just want to see that level of like nonsense for so many different things. Although I feel like that's also what I would look like because I'm just a bald guy and I
sitting on a toilet.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah. Considering. Oh, here's a fun picture just because Nanimon's one of my favorite guys, and I'm now just in minor hyper focus mode.
What is happening here?
What? I hate it.
How is that real?
That's just the like let's go softball emote or whatever.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. That's the thing. Digimon was like, hey, what do boys like? They like fighting their monsters and they like poop jokes.
And poop, yeah.
There is literally
we like them gross and we like them violent.
Who is literally just a sentient poop.
Disgusting. I like this Hedorah here.
Because there's just a whole category of Digimon that's like, hey, you didn't take care of your guy, and now they're weird and gross. Because you weren't a responsible pet owner. And like this guy's one of them, the poop guy's one. There's a snail. Yeah. There's a fucked up rat.
I will say I've watched all the Showa Godzilla films. I haven't gone to like many of the Heisei ones, but I do like out of all the Showa ones, Hedorah was versus Hedorah was my favorite of the bunch.
That's a great one.
Yeah, and so it's like I do like seeing like Hedorah love from the Chat, yeah.
That's just a
really
good suit design. I
Yeah.
love
It's
the
a very
little
good suit.
hole.
I love the 2004 one has that like tube like on her chest or whatever that just like squirts out like fart gas.
Oh, the one you posted? Yeah, because that looked the Millennium
like-
one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've watched bits of Heisei and Millennium, but I need to like sit down and like watch them the whole way through.
Do we think that suit still exists, or has it just
Oh,
disintegrated
it's
by now?
probably like they still put out the Final Wars suit. They still put a poor suit actor in the Final Wars like 2004 suit for like shorts and shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there was that Godzilla Fest
Yeah, those
short like a
Godzilla
few years
shorts.
back.
Yeah.
I'm not
They're
sure.
very
Like,
good shorts. If only they actually let them out for more than 2 seconds.
yeah, I think they're the same suits and they're just like refurbished to
Yeah,
some
the
degree.
refurbished suits. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if I was the big company, I make the molds and just keep the molds. So whenever you need, we need more arm. Put the fucking latex in the goddamn arm. Make the new
Right.
arm.
well, I think that the issue with that at this point, like the newest molds of these suits or whatever are from like over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like the
What-
last live action Godzilla was in 2004, and it's like no, like obviously some of these suits still exist, but like I think they're just like wasn't like one, they're not designed to like last that long
Yeah.
just to get on film, and two, I think like there just like wasn't that level of foresight at the time.
Yeah, 100%.
Didn't they make a live action suit for Shin Godzilla? Not used for the film, but didn't they make one?
There was a puppet; it wasn't a suit.
Yeah, it was like
Okay.
a puppet. Yeah,
a big puppet. Yeah.
Fair.
like mainly just for like visual reference.
And then they just they didn't use it for the movie.
I just wonder if if they're gonna end up like the original TMNT live action suits.
Oh God, yeah, I know what
there
you
ain't a
mean.
single one
Crying
that's
and,
not
like,
scary.
melting in a corner somewhere.
Toho's never letting those photos out if that happens.
Yeah. Matt Frank, he was at, I believe it was Monster Palooza recently, and there was some like some old like claws and stuff from the Godzilla suits in the 60s, and it's like this is all that's left of like 2 claws or whatever. Just disintegrated, you know.
The fucking Donatello with his mouth open is sending me. Oh my
I
god!
kind of wish I never
Here's
would
the
have
thing:
seen it.
it's horrifying, but he looks so jolly.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's like, "Hey, what's going on, guys?"
They should be destroyed.
is-
Just get rid of all of them. Why are these still around?
There's a bit of sass to the Raphael.
Yeah,
I
he's
appreciate
like,
that one.
Yeah.
You know what would be fun to see is just like
Oh,
it'd
God.
have to be like a one-shot horror thing, but like TMNT zombies, and you use these as the inspiration for the zombified turtles.
Ugh.
That they kind of did that with the NECA monster stuff or the Universal monster stuff. You could see the.
Oh yeah, wasn't the Mikey Mummy kind of based on that?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah!
Which those figures are great. I only have the Raphael Frankenstein one, but it's one of my like favorite things I own. Wonder what box
It's in
Dude.
a box.
This Michelangelo is fucking cursed.
God, that's how I feel on
That's
this,
that-
honestly.
That
I mean, he's
Michelangelo
literally a mummy. He's cursed.
God, he looks horrible.
literally zooted. That the Michelangelo you posted looks like he's just ate 3 brownies
His
30 minutes ago.
His eyeballs have like melted out of his head or something. Ugh. It's disgusting.
I wonder what they smell like. I really do wonder what they smell like.
Just
Cody,
like
Just
caked
the
in-
strongest.
They
fucking
gotta have a smell. They gotta have a
Caked in
smell.
layers.
Cody,
of
not only are you talking
layers
about
of-
the smell of desiccating chemical foams, you're also thinking about all the sweat of the
That's what I
stunt
was gonna-
I
performers.
know.
That's what I was going to say. Just like sweat that were like.
That's like the cases people keep those costumes in have got to be like airtight.
Yeah, they would probably like completely disintegrate if exposed to
That
the
thing-
air.
It's gotta have some sort of spirit. Like there's gotta be some sort of like residual like spirit attached to it. Like,
Why do you care about this? Do you want to like absorb the spirit of the suit actor?
maybe
Yeah, there's like
it's at least interesting.
there's like a tulpa thought form attached to those suits that's like manifested.
Oh my god.
These suits are now SCPs.
I mean, it does kind of look like the was it the arm?
The arm?
What's the in the Return, Twin Peaks: The Return, when
Oh,
the arm.
yeah.
I love Twin Peaks: The Return.
I'm
I just
getting
finished
through
it for
10
the first
Peaks.
time.
Just
2 weeks ago.
skip the old stuff and just watch The Return.
No, I want to watch the old stuff because
Oh,
I'm
that's
enjoying
crazy!
it.
You gotta have it all. You gotta.
No, because season like after Lynch leaves in season 2, it stinks until he
enjoyed
comes
season
back
2.
for the finale, which is awesome.
I enjoyed what I got out of season 2. We also watched the Laura Palmer movie that I forget the name of.
Firewalk with me.
Yeah,
It's
which
so
is
great. It's so good.
It's very good. It's just it's not meant to be a good time.
It's very
definitely not a
rough.
good time.
It's very rough for
Um,
sure.
It's like you get done with it and it's like, wow, that was a good piece of cinematography.
Yeah, it's fucking
I don't feel
brutal.
better. I don't feel good,
Yeah.
but it was good.
I can't wait for you to get to season 3 or The Return. It's like,
I finished it.
oh, you
He
did?
finished
Oh,
it.
okay.
I'm in the process of
Oh,
season
you're
2.
in the process. Okay. I'm getting you guys on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Twin Peaks: The Return. It's like chef's kiss.
I was a little like I had a minor gripe, and
What?
my partner kept like not by the end of it. I just like I kept being like I'm like, oh, like well, I don't even know. Actually, I don't want to say it because of Boingo not having finished it.
I'll forget by the time I get there.
I love Dougie. I was just ready for Dougie to like be somebody else.
No.
I'm sorry, but like I came around
on.
by the end of it. I still was loving everything I was watching. I was just like, oh,
Alright.
come on.
I mean, it's clearly like it's supposed to be like, a slow burn or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta wait for Dale,
You do.
Yeah.
And it was still ultra worth it.
I loved it. I loved every second of it.
And we're gonna watch Lost Highway next.
It's so great. R.I.P. R.I.P. to the master.
Yeah, I still need to I watched Eraserhead. I need to watch more David Lynch stuff
Yes.
because
absolutely.
I do screw for Eraserhead heavy.
I mean, you
and I
watched
did
season
watch
1
the
of Twin
first.
Peaks.
Yeah, I did
us.
watch season 1 of Twin Peaks, but that was a while ago. And I got like the first episode of season 2, but just 40-minute episodes, unless I'm like literally held at gunpoint to do it, are like a bit rough for me.
Wait, 40 minutes is rough?
I mean, like movies, like I don't know. Okay, it's
You're
my
talking
brain
to
is
a Gen
weird.
Z. You're talking to a Gen Z.
No, it's not even. It's weird because it's like 20-minute episodes I can work with. An
everybody
hour-long
major just a
movie I can
child?
work with.
Buster, I think that just may be you being really used to tokusatsu.
And cartoons.
40 minutes. That's like a standard.
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
I'm still getting used to it.
episode.
My brain is weird. Like
No.
I can handle movies. I can handle like the 20-minute up to 20 minutes. It's just like I don't know what's about like
That's giving
40-minute episodes. I'm like I don't know. I want to watch more Star Trek, but it's like the 40-minute episodes is like scares me a bit, and I'm like I don't know why.
I will be right back. I have to run my sweet puppy outside.
Okay.
Hey, Bruce.
I love Star Trek too.
Yeah.
I've started getting into Star Trek Next Generation.
Yes, it's so great.
But I'm also doing something weird with it that I thought would be like, oh, that'd be a fun idea. I'm not binge watching it. I'm not watching it in order. What I'm doing is kind of like a simulated syndication.
Reruns?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Like once a week or whatever.
So yeah. So I asked them like, hey, what's 20 just fun episodes? Not good, not the best, just fun. And it's like, okay, here's a list.
I
Yeah.
specifically did not give him Best of Both Worlds, Yesterday's Enterprise, or Measure of a Man. I was like, you'll get to those when you're ready for them.
Oh, great. Yeah, okay.
And so I
mean,
just
those
put
are
them in a
great.
random picker. Whenever I watch an episode, I just randomly do one. So like the last one I watched was Cause and Effect, the one where they're in a time loop.
Oh my god. That is one of my all-time.
That was one of the
fucking-
first episodes I saw.
It's
that I
so
fell in
great.
love. That was so good.
It's so great.
Just it just hit because it's like, okay, all these characters are so competent, and like the one the doctor woman Crusher was just
Crusher.
like, something feels weird, and no one dismisses
Yeah.
her. No one's going like, you're crazy. They're like, hey, we don't 100% understand or believe you right now, but we are going to check. We are going to trust your gut.
Yeah.
And they don't lampshade it either. There's no moment where anybody goes, our lives are weird, so I guess that would make sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, there's no like super little quips and stuff, or like, wow,
They
that happened kind of stuff.
They just trust each other and go like, hey, this feels weird. Okay, I don't understand why you're feeling weird. Let's just check things and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's so great. I am a huge Voyager also.
See, here's the thing. I love saying this because it always messes with Star Trek fans. The Star Trek I've seen the most of before now, just absentmindedly not really paying attention, was Enterprise.
Oh my god.
With Dracula.
What?
Good old Stevie Backs.
No, it's like I've seen like half of Enterprise, I think. I have not seen the because it's just not good.
Enterprise is my mother's favorite season, and so that's
Yeah.
why I always saw bits and pieces.
I have thought about now that there's been distance from it, giving it another shot. You know? I don't know. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've
You know,
just
I
watched
was,
shit and weird news.
I had a big Star Trek phase as a teenager when like the Abrams movies were coming out. I got into TNG and TOS and I watched all the movies with my dad. But now I've been getting more into it on like an intellectual level as an adult, and I was like, I think I'm finally ready to do the one that everybody says is like the best, the big boy show, the syndicated storytelling before that was a thing. Or not syndicated, serialized, excuse me.
Yes, you realized, yeah.
So I'm almost finished with the second season of DS9 right now, and I love it.
It gets like, as opposed to Next Gen, where it kind of has like I really love season 1 of Next Gen, but I think most people don't care for it. But it has like, I think like overall the show has kind of like an arc where like by the time you get to like season 6, it's like, there's a few misses there a little bit, and then season 7 is just like, oh god, like
season 7 is literally we ran out of ideas.
Yeah, it's like, oh god, is this where we're at? Ugh. But like DS9 on the other hand starts off like kind of bad. I feel like season 1 is not great.
It feels like it's just what if we did TNG, but it was only in one place.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, there's some good episodes. It's competent, but it doesn't really start to stand out until like the latter half.
Yeah,
and then it gets really good in season 2.
It just gets like better and better like as it goes. By like season 7, it's just like, like whereas Next Gen, you're like, please end. With DS9, you're like, just like, I think this could keep going. It's just, it's great.
Well, I look forward to finishing.
Yeah, that's good. And then you gotta watch Void.
I will someday. I feel like it is the most pre-New Trek. It was the most controversial series where there's people who love it and there's people who hate it.
Like I watched it when it was coming out, and I didn't love it, and I kind of bailed around like season 5, which I realized was like bailing after like 5 years. That's still like a long time. And I finally watched the entire show like not that long ago. Like I rewatched all the stuff I'd seen and then finished it off, and like I am like a major Voyager.
Nice.
It is great. Like I feel like maybe the heights of Voyager don't quite reach the heights of like Next Gen or DS9, but like it's much more like solid like across the whole run of the show. Like obviously there's some stinkers or whatever, but it's just like it's like really like consistent.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's good. And also Tuvok is my favorite character. Incredible.
I've never heard someone say that before. That's really interesting.
Love Tuvok. He is great. Like I'm like I love Vulcans like to begin with, but Tuvok is like my favorite character and my favorite Vulcan.
Mm.
He is awesome.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
I guess
cool.
the obvious question would be: do you have any interest in doing Star Trek comics someday?
Oh God, I've had a couple opportunities. I feel like I would be really bad at like actor likenesses.
Mm.
And that's like, or just like more so than like Ninja Turtles or something. Star Trek characters are like, since they're played by like real actors, it's like they're very specific, and like I don't know if I could like capture that.
Yeah, you kind of have to choose if you're going to shoot really hard for it, or if you're just going
Yeah.
to say it's an interpretation.
Yeah, or just like, oh, here's like, I think if they let me do my own crew, like I would jump at that. But like, I don't know if I'm. Like,
I'm surprised franchises like Star Trek just don't do that. It's just like,
I know, yeah, it seems like a no-brainer, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's just a cheap way to have Star Trek as a show without having to put all whatever.
Yeah, that actually is a really good point, Boingo. The flagship Star Trek book at whatever company has the license at the time should just be about a completely original crew.
Yes, like that would be.
And then guess what? Hey, look, you can have guest stars pop in.
Yeah,
It's like,
right.
hey,
Yes,
this arc, Worf is here.
right.
Hey,
Like
look,
Worf
it's
shows
Worf.
up in one issue. Like that would be really. I think I would like to do that. Like just kind of take the bones of Star Trek.
Yeah, we're at Space Stock this week, and oh look, there's Riker on his way back from his 100th trip to Risa.
That would be so fun. Yeah,
but like on the like character likeness things, it's like either you nail it, you go like, hey, it's a vibe, or you just do what the Ghostbusters comic did and go like, they are complete caricatures.
Oh right, okay.
It's
yeah, I
just
think
like,
that's definitely one way to do it, but I think it would psych me out,
yeah.
Oh, look at
We
that
believe
dog.
you could do that. Goddamn.
Oh,
Yeah, Bruce, let's go.
Sorry about that, y'all.
It's
That's
good.
No worries.
Tiny dog had to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the world's gonna end.
He's just a little baby. He doesn't know.
It's all good.
Well, we are coming up on the last little chunk of our allotted time for this
Yes,
episode.
I do need to go eat lunch like pretty soon.
Yeah, you have a heart out. So I do want to spend some time specifically talking about Supergirl for a little bit, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Let the man's hyper interest flow.
No.
I promise it won't get crazy. But
quite literally, to give an example, I got Simeon into X-Men just by showing him magic and going, blonde girl with an attitude, kind of like Supergirl, and it was like, fuck, you got me.
I did already like X-Men, but
I know.
You got me to read the current books by going like, look, magic's cool in this one. Anyway, so we've talked a little bit about like different opportunities and different ways stuff can come to you as a creator in the comic space, but I am interested specifically, was Supergirl offered to you or was it something you pitched for?
It was offered.
Okay.
It like that, I was like 2024. Like I was doing stuff for Marvel for like months, like most of that year. I was doing a Young Avengers relaunch, and then they pulled the plug on, and I was out of a job.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was gonna say, why haven't I heard of that?
Yeah, so yeah, they pulled the plug on it. I got paid $800 for like 6 months of work. I had been turning down other jobs
Ugh.
because I thought I would have this Marvel. And so at the end of that year, like, I was just like, wow, I don't have any money anymore. Like, what should I do? And then should I just get a regular job? And then DC just came out of the blue, came out of nowhere. And I was just like, yes, I need money.
Yeah.
So
That's totally
that was
fair.
it.
So a lot of your book is very much geared towards pre-crisis Supergirl stylings rather than, I think, what a lot of people have come to expect from the character in modern times. Was that like a conscious decision, or is it just that's the stuff you're familiar with, so you wanted to write that?
When they offered me the job, I kind of did my main touchstone for Supergirl was the CW show.
Mm.
But I did like kind of like a sampling of like every era, Silver Age, Bronze Age, 80s, 90s, like recent stuff, and just to kind of like get a feel for it. And the Bronze Age stuff was like the stuff that I felt like most drawn to, like specifically the 1971 or 72.
Yeah, you like heavily referenced that in the first couple issues, which blew me away at the time because I'm like, that stuff's not even collected. What?
Right, it's not, right. And that was like the only chunk of Supergirl that, like, obviously, like, it's only 10 issues, a lot, but that was that specific series was the one that like really spoke to me. I was just like, this is the one. Like, she's got the cocktail waitress costume, which I love. It's kind of like every issue is like its own thing, and there's this kind of like freewheeling like energy to it, but there's also like a ability to the character in that, and I felt like that was the one that I wanted to kind of emulate, and so that's why I was doing like, I was like, well, let's bring thought balloons back. How come nobody uses those anymore?
Yeah, and that was one of the things that really impressed me with the run right away, was just how much it feels like a throwback, but also kind of makes a point that like these methods still work. We didn't have to completely abandon them.
Yeah, and it's weird because like, is it because like we still use captions for like internal narration, so is the reason because thought balloons like look kind of silly because they're like a cloud? Like, is that the reason we stopped using them? Which seems kind of stupid.
It might be to more visually distinguish it or show more of the art, I think.
That's true. That's a good point. I don't know. Anyway, thought balloons are back. I like them.
I'm trying to think of when they would have disappeared. Was it late 80s, early 90s?
It was like right around the 90s, early 2000s, I feel like, because I remember people talking about like Jeff Loeb's Superman Batman and specifically pointing out the captions like it was a new thing.
A friend of mine said it was kind of like the 1-2 punch of like Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns, that kind of like were the nails in the thought balloon coffin, because it's like, one, they were like super popular and sold like really well, and they also are kind of like, comics are serious, superhero comics aren't for kids anymore.
Yeah, there's still to this day the ones people say like, you got to read this if you want to get into comics, and it's very not true.
I think everybody just kind of like, was kind of naturally kind of like emulating that stuff. Like, after.
And here's the thing, like, you read a novel, you get in the character's head.
Right.
You can hear their thoughts. No one looks at a highbrow novel and seeing the inner thoughts of the main character and going like, this is kid stuff here.
See, that's why I really think it's just that thought balloons look a little silly because they're like a cloud coming from
maybe all thought balloons should be italicized.
But they're still a cloud.
Well, but then it looks like it's important because it's a
Wait, but how
cloud
can
that's
you
actually.
how can you italicize like a cloud?
I just mean the text. I'm just
Oh,
being
the
silly.
text. Okay.
I mean, you could probably italicize a cloud. I mean, if you look at
Yeah.
it sideways.
Yeah, I
Mm.
don't know if you would notice it really that much. But yeah, I really think that's what it is because it kind of conjures like a lightness to it, which like doesn't seem as serious, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But I
That
do
definitely
really
seems like
like
an
that.
interesting like lettering challenge to see if like there's ways you
Yeah.
can do it.
I also like that you can do stuff have a word balloon and a thought balloon coming from the center, and they could the word balloon could be like hey, how are you doing? And then the thought balloon at the same time just like, ugh, I hate this person.
Mhm.
And you can kind of like juxtapose them in a way that like captions like can do, but not in the same way.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally that moment in the first issue where Kara gets called by her adopted parents, and they're like, "Hey, you wanna come home? We're renovating the old house." And she's like, "I'd literally rather go anywhere else," in her
Right,
thought balloon.
right,
And then she's like, "That's great. I'll be right over."
right. Yeah, so I like that kind of stuff. And also stuff where like in issue 2, when it kind of like focuses on Lesla in Candor, she
Yeah.
has captions, and then as soon as she comes in like outside of Candor, she suddenly has a thought balloon.
Mm.
So
Gets a
it's
little
like
more loosey goosey, a little more silly once she's out of her cage, essentially.
that's right, yeah. Or
Which
it's
that
like
is something I did want to ask you about because before your run, Lesla was kind of like an obscure character, and you kind of took her and reinvented her and made her your own. Was that like a big mission statement for you going in?
um sort of, yeah, because like I forget which issue was her first appearance, but she was in like like a pretty like lengthy story.
Yeah,
And
she has like a 2-issue arc early
right.
on in action, and then
And
she's
then
a
she
big
comes
part of
back.
the arc where Kara gets adopted
Right, and
later
she
on.
comes back later and she has like a different costume. And then at some point like later on, she's like a ghost or something.
Yeah.
She's dead and she comes back as like the spirit or whatever.
I think she
Um
got Phantom Zoned. I think that's what that was,
no,
but
she got zapped. She was trying to team up with this group of supervillains, and
oh yeah, that's right.
one of them has this like disintegration ray or something, and they just zap her and she's like vaporized. They're like, oops, that's the end of her. And she's dead.
Mm.
Um but yeah, it was like, that specifically that first arc or that first story arc of her, she's trying to like take over Kara's life, and like become her. And she like, swaps Kara like into Candor so she can like just like swap their lives like completely.
Yeah.
And like, I was just like, why isn't this character like a longer running villain for Supergirl? Like, she's like super fun, she's like just like really bitchy and like just weird. Like, she's just like her whole like motive. She like wants to be Supergirl, and
She
it's like
really is just like a jealous mean girl before that was a
right,
trope.
yeah, which I thought was like really fun. Um, and I like that. See, it seemed like because like she doesn't. Well, I mean, some stuff she does is pretty bad, but like she just like doesn't seem like that evil. And I felt like if she was in the series for like an extended period of time, like she would never be able to like keep up like any of these like evil schemes that she's doing.
Hmm.
Like you can't take over Supergirl's life like indefinitely. Like something is gonna come and bust that up. And it just it felt like she was in the old comics where she's clearly unhappy. She's she has like no self-esteem, and I just kind of use that as like a springboard and tried to make her like a fuller recurring character.
Yeah, and now I think you could basically make the argument that she's Supergirl's official sidekick.
Yeah, I think so too. And like, that would be really, that's like super fun. And I would love to do like a solo Leslie spin-off or something at some point. Like, cool.
Oh man, that would be neat.
Yeah, it'd be great. It's interesting though. Like, I try to avoid reading like reviews or like fan reactions and stuff, like even positive stuff. But there seems to be like a contingent of people who like absolutely love her, and also a contingent of people who just like hate her and wish that she would go. And
I
it's
feel like she definitely is a big part of why, for a while there early on, it was like the book was blowing up in its first couple issues because people, I mean, there's certain panels where people just kept going like, whoa, whoa.
You're right.
Uh,
I think, and it's, I don't know, superhero comics are weird, like, especially with characters like, the like super, I guess Batman too, but like they don't kill the villain, they can't kill the villains, right?
Mhm.
And then it's like, well, what do you do with the villain after the story arc is over? And then like, like obviously Batman can throw them in, but and Superman, throw them in the Phantom Zone, but like that's kind of fucked up. So it's like I feel like this constant like, well, what do you do with at the end? And I felt like Supergirl she would try to like make friends with them. She'd be like, well, what's wrong? Like what in your life has like driven you to do this?
yeah.
Like maybe we can fix it together, like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
there's that incredible moment at the end of issue 3, I think it is, where she gets the new costume from Leslie, and you think she's just about to like completely beat the crap out,
right,
or she gets the new costume from Lena, excuse me.
yeah, Lena,
But you
yeah.
think she's about to beat the crap out of Leslie, and then she just hugs her, and she's
Right.
like, "We're gonna figure this out." And I was like, that is the most like Silver Age and approachable I think I've seen Supergirl feel in an ongoing book in years.
Well, thank you. Yeah, like I like that's like way more fun and interesting to me than I'm Supergirl, brah, and then she just like Leslie out and she's unconscious, like, well, let's get her
Yeah.
back to the Candor jail or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
And also, like, for an ongoing book, I assume it gives you like a thread to keep like a
yes,
consistent like idea
absolutely.
to like for future stories.
Yeah, like yeah, and it's yeah, it's like you can kind of keep it in your back pocket for like future threads. And I don't know, there's something about like the idea of like Supergirl, not it wouldn't have to be like specifically her, I guess, but just like this superhero who's like has like a real like warmth to them, and like every villain that they encounter, they kind of like make friends with.
Mhm.
And like then they just have this like circle of like villain friends.
I mean, DC has a history of doing that kind of stuff. Like, look at the
Yeah.
Flash and the Rogues.
Yeah. I've long made the case that like that's the big thing that makes Wonder Woman different from the other two members of the Trinity. She early on, she was very much about rehabilitating her villains.
Yeah, and like I think that's like way more interesting than just like a fitting end for his kind, and then they just like kill them or
A fitting in for your kind, an OSHA violation.
right?
I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Yeah, like it's just I don't know. I don't find that.
Yeah, and Marvel just got around it by just going like, "There's just a giant prison out in Colorado. We'll send them
It's
all
stupid. And like, I mean, like I'm saying this as somebody who likes it when the turtles kill their villains. I feel like that's part of those characters. That's like part of what it's all about. And like I really struggled with that when I was writing Turtles. That version of the Turtles, they weren't allowed to kill anyone. And I was just like, well, they're not really like the making friends type. So like the villain, they just like cackle and run away at the end of the arc every time. It's stupid. Like the turtles, they have like swords and stuff. They should just like behead them when they're done with the villain, you know? But like a character like Supergirl, it's like she has like not everybody can do that.
Supergirl is strong enough to be kind.
Right, exactly. Like she had, Superman too, obviously.
Right.
You know,
But
they
we're talking
have,
about Supergirl.
yeah,
You're-
yeah.
And that's the thing
Supergirl,
she then tries to teach Lesla in the following issues. There's moments where she's literally like, "You're super strong. Be mindful of that while you hit this guy."
right, yeah, or like, yeah, like you have the invulnerability to be able to like not put down a threat in the same way that like a human dealing with like a mad gunman or something would have to do.
you can just tank it.
Yeah, just take it exactly, and then like take it and then figure something. Solve this problem in like a different way, and like I think that's fun, and there's I don't want to spoil it really, but like in an upcoming issue, she kind of like brings back these like villains that she's like made friends with to help, and I'm just like, I like that. Like that's fun.
Yeah.
That's always the cool thing of like, hey, you have skills and powers and resources. You can do good. I can? Yeah. Help me do good.
Yeah, or just don't do bad. Just like do something else.
Yeah, it's that classic Spider-Man panel of you have this incredible scientific technology. You could literally use it to cure cancer. Why are you making evil dinosaurs instead?
Right, he's like, I don't
Technically,
want
that was X-Men in the Spider-Man.
Oh,
yeah, because that was Sauron, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sauron, but that was an X-Men story where Peter was like subbing in as a teacher there.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't read that story, but I remember the meme going.
Yeah.
But getting a little deeper into the series, I did want to say, so I really like your run on the whole so far. I feel like it's the most consistently good a Supergirl ongoing has been in a long time. But my favorite issues in particular so far have definitely been 5 and 6. And I really like the tonal sort of juxtaposition with those, where one's kind of just like this fun cutesy comedy issue with the super pets,
Right, the
and then
super
another is very much a horror issue that also kind of acts as like, if you don't know Supergirl, here's kind of a best of clip show.
right,
Is
right.
that something you enjoy, that kind of tonal juggling, or
Oh,
is that
yes,
just what
absolutely.
happens?
Well, part of that was because I really love doing like seasonal issues, like Halloween issue. Like this is a Halloween issue, so it's got to be like spooky.
Hmm.
This is the Thanksgiving issue. This is the Christmas issue, like stuff. So that was partly why 6 was like scary because it was Halloween. But I also do like the tone juggling.
All right.
I mean,
Um,
it's like old-fashioned sitcoms where it's just like things happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
things happen, or like some of those the old Bronze Age, Silver Age
Yeah.
stuff, where like, one issue she's, hanging out or whatever, and issue like, she's like solving like a murder or something.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's just different stuff.
It goes back to that thing of like it's almost kind of a old technique we forgot, much like the thought bubbles of back in the day. They used to just write these as they went. There were no big thought out arcs, and we kind of got so into doing big thought out arcs for a while that we almost lost the idea of the done in one, the different story every month.
Right, and like,
And that's coming back with aplomb.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I agree.
Like you're
And
doing a lot of done in one stuff. Ryan North is doing that with Fantastic Four.
yeah, and it's partly like difficult because in the old days, like, things were like generally around 20 pages, but they tended to have like a little more space. to do that kind of stuff. And another like aspect of it now is, for me anyway, is that I get bored. So like, like I'm like, oh, this issue's gonna have a bunch of monsters. The following month I'm gonna be like, no, I want to do this other thing. Like that. It's just like, it's very trying to keep myself, like keep myself occupied, I guess.
Okay. And just kind of following up on that, with you having done a dedicated Super Pets issue, there was one notable absence in that issue. And I feel like people have probably asked you this before, but I would be remiss if I didn't. Are there any plans to do anything with Comet in the run at some point?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Beppo the Super Monkey.
No, I forget about Beppo all the time because I confuse him and Titano.
Yeah, they're a little. Well, yeah. I guess Titano kind of like takes the place of Beppo the Super Monkey.
Yeah.
Because he's also an ape. I have thought about Comet. I mean, there's a reference to him in number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like a panel where you see Carl like holding Comet's like corpse or whatever.
Yeah, because
no.
I don't know if they ever said he actually died at the end of Woman of Tomorrow. It's like he had he got really messed up.
Yeah, I guess I just assumed. But yeah, maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's. I mean, yeah, I haven't forgotten about Comet. I mean,
as if being dead matters in superhero comics.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's the other thing, right? Like your whole run is very much connected to the period before she famously died, and issue 5 or issue 6, excuse me, is very much about we're in the omniverse now. Everything happened, and it all counts, and that's one of the things I love the most about not just your run, but this current era of DC we're in, where it's like, no, anything's up for grabs. We can do whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's very, I mean, it's freeing in a way, but also kind of like nerve-wracking because like it means I have to do more research.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like when did this happen? But like, I have
Oh
this
no,
kind of,
you have to read comics.
right. I have this kind of like this small inner circle of like experts, because like I didn't grow up reading DC comics, like, and only like a little bit of Marvel stuff. So like, I can like hit somebody up on the side and be like, hey, like, did Supergirl ever do this, or like, what is this? Blah, blah, blah. They'll usually know and help me out.
A think tank.
Was that? Yes, a think tank, right? But like, yeah, I do like. I don't know if you guys are all caught up. Issue 11.
Oh yeah, I read month to month, so I've read
cool.
the latest issue.
Yeah, so like 11 to 15 is single. Like I wanted to kind of, do something meatier, I guess, and like, it's very like by the seat of my pants.
All right. All right, we're almost up on time, but I guess I should probably ask, are you excited about the movie at all? Have they asked you to do anything collaborative for that, or is that just like you're focusing on the book?
I'm mostly focusing on the book. They did invite me to the Brooklyn premiere, but I'm not going.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate traveling. I was like, I'm just gonna stay home. Usually, when I'm working on, like an IP thing, I try to avoid like other new versions of like, the like Turtles. Like I didn't see Mutant Mayhem until like years after it came out. For like I just it's just like I can't like infect my brain with this other thing that is.
You don't want to accidentally synergize.
Yeah, right. Like I don't want to synergize. If I have like just too many ideas, I get kind of like so if it weren't for my friend Stephanie like wanting to go see with me, I don't know if I would even watch it. I think I would probably just not bother with it at all until later. Like I only saw the new Superman movie like this year. You know, I just didn't even like just like a few months ago. Like I was like, I can't deal with it. I can't like, you know, infuse my brain with that stuff. I have to like stay on target, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
can
fair.
imagine like separating like the work and passion of like the thing just being like super tricky. It's like because like I have seen like a lot. I've heard of like stories of like a lot of people who are like, okay, yeah, I'm working on this thing, but I don't want to like I don't want to take influence from just the other things that it's inspired by. I want to like take
Right.
inspiration from like other weird sources. Like if it's like the whole thing of like reading, but like I mean, a lot of people would say this like expanding your horizons of like you don't just want to be inspired by like the like let's say you're I don't know you're writing a Supergirl book. You don't want to be inspired by other Supergirl books. You want to be inspired by like other like things in general that you like or want to write about, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And like obviously there is some you know, inspiration from like older stuff, you know,
Yeah.
like I'm pulling characters and stuff, you know, from like
But
existing
that just comes with the
comics.
territory.
Yeah.
Well,
But
like
just,
you're doing
you
a
know,
very Silver Agey book set in Midvale, but you're using the rebirth version of her adopted parents. So like you're
right. So
mixing it up.
yeah, it's all like kind of like mix and match kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's also clear to see there's other influences in bits and pieces. Like the slice of life stuff feels kind of Archie.
Yeah, or just, you know, yeah, and there's also just like what I'm gonna do kind of naturally, like what my you know natural inclinations are.
An artist brings in inputs and then uses it and recombines and does outputs.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. And before we close, there is one viewer question I wanted to make sure we got to, which is frequent listener Aki wanted to know, what is your dream character to write for at Marvel or DC after you're finished with Supergirl?
Oh my god. um probably Sleepwalker at Marvel.
Oh my god.
You just said
That is crazy.
That is
That's
genuinely
literally
one of my
Yo's
favorite.
favorite obscure character.
I love Sleepwalker.
I literally have the Sleepwalker Legends right here, like in arm's reach.
Nice. I have the entire like I have all the issues like around here somewhere.
I'm slowly whenever I come across one, I always try and pick it up.
You had so great, and like yeah, he is the only. No, that's not true. I read all of Ecstatics and the Morrison
That's also
X-Men, but
Mike Allred's also my favorite comic artist of all time.
yeah, he's great.
Madman
yeah,
is
like,
genuinely one of my favorite things ever.
That
there's a
actually
lot
makes
of
sense
like
if you would like Ecstatics, because I think there's a little bit of Allred in your art style.
yeah, I do like I have never read Madman or his other stuff, but I loved Ecstatics when that first came out. But yeah, those are like the only Marvel series that I've ever read like all of. Like I never really grew up like reading like that much X-Men or like you know, I've read like a little bit of like Silver Surfer and Fantastic Four, but like Sleepwalker was like the main one where like I, you know, religiously got like every issue. So yeah, Sleepwalker would be fun.
So much untapped potential with Sleepwalker just in general.
He's great. I tried to bring in, there was going to be a new Sleepwalker in my Young Avengers relaunch before it got canned.
Hell yeah.
So there was like
we've got a campaign to make this happen, I feel like.
I mean, I think it's, you know, it's over and done at this point.
Yeah.
Hey, never say never.
But I don't know if I would want to come back at this point unless there's like some kind of guarantee. Like, can you guarantee that you're not just gonna like pull the
you know what? That's fair, actually. Yeah, I get that.
just like.
And by the time you're big enough to like get that guarantee, you can just do your own indie stuff.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna care really, but
yeah.
We're talking hypotheticals. Sleepwalker is the big one, and I also my other favorite characters are Marrow and Feral from X-Force.
Wow.
Yeah, that explains a little bit in the woman's anthology.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I wrote a little short story with them. Yeah, so I love them.
I'm loving all these left field picks. This is great.
I like all the freaks, the freak
Oh, yeah.
characters that nobody likes.
Well, I mean, Marrow is a fucking Morlock.
I love Marrow. She's great.
Is that literally why you created Princess Shark? You're like, we got to get a freak in here.
Yeah, like I love sharks and I love freaks, so let's get a shark lady in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like most of the time it's really that for me.
Sometimes that's all it has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For DC, I would like. Well, can I pick wild for the DC picks?
Sure. Whatever. I mean, like if it's owned by DC, I think it's fair game.
Because I am. That's the stuff that I really grew up reading was like early. And like Wildcats are like my X-Men.
Okay.
Like I would, Gen 13. My favorite Wildstorm character, Cybernary. Like
I've never even heard of that character. What?
Cybernary, the original Cybernary comic ran as backups in the first 4 issues of the original Death Blow by Jim Lee.
Wow.
Drawn by Nick Manabat, who passed away, R.I.P. But those like 4 issues of Cybernary, like incredible, like the best, like my favorite comic of all time are those first 4 issues. It's so great, and I would love to bring Cybernary back in some capacity.
Hell yeah!
Okay. All right. That's really cool that you didn't say like, oh, I'd like to write the Flash.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care about it. Like I want
Here's the thing.
I want the weirdos. I want the obscure, characters that nobody likes or whatever. That's
because I imagine like at some point every writer can. Oh, I was about to say at some point every writer, if you're working in the big 2, will get a chance to write the big guys.
Yeah,
this is like, oh yeah, the Flash just shows up. Hi, I'm the Flash. Cool, you wrote the Flash now.
Yeah, and not that I don't love the Flash or whatever, but yeah, like I would much rather do like I don't know, like some obscure one-off Flash character or something that like showed up.
Yeah.
To you. Like that's.
I mean, it is that thing of like, what's more fun? You have to figure out a new story nobody's ever done with Batman, or you just take all your little freaks and you take them on down to the golf club.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah, like I would much rather do like an Ink series from Batman Beyond or something.
Oh my god, that would go so hard, actually.
Yeah, like I would love that. I love Ink. I love
all the Batman Beyond bad guys are so underutilized.
They're so great. I love the Royal Flush Gang. They're my favorite.
Yes.
I am a sucker for a team in uniform. And the Royal Flush Gang are like peak. They all have like a theme. It's perfect.
They have that one really great moment from the cartoon.
Oh yeah.
It's just like really heart-rending.
Yeah,
oh, you're talking about the JLU episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
And just the stuff with 10 is really great. Yeah, Royal Flush Gang.
And plus they're not actual characters, so you can just put any Jimblo Bimblo in there and it's just like
Jimblo Bimblo. Right. Yeah. The terrific trio from Batman.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I just I love the like the forgotten characters or whatever.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Ink is a great pick too.
Well, we're a little over time now, so is there anything you want to plug before we end the show?
Just read Supergirl, please.
You heard it here, folks. You need to go to your comic shop. You need to pre-order the book. You need to buy 3 copies when it gets on sale.
Yeah.
You need
to
one
speculator
to read,
market this book.
Bring the speculator.
Hey,
But just for
issue
this
one
one-
has the first appearance of Princess Shark. That's going to be
That's
worth
right,
something
that's right.
someday.
That's right.
Call your local senator, demand the Supergirl be placed everywhere, billboards, drop them from the sky.
Now you're just talking about one of my dreams.
All right, so yeah, I should go eat. I am starving.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us and making the
Absolutely.
time. It's
Thanks.
been wonderful talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for being, patient with my ridiculous schedule and all that stuff.
Yeah, hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you for
All
giving us
right.
the time. It was fantastic.
It has
Yeah.
been an absolute delight.
Thank you so much. And I will talk to you guys soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll just fucking outro the podcast. You can go eat.
Okay, all right.
You know how to leave the call? Because I know you're new to Discord.
No, I'm not new to Discord.
Oh, okay. You were asking how to get in there earlier.
Well, typically when I do calls on Discord, like somebody actually like hits like the call button and there's,
Oh,
like,
okay. Okay.
Like
pops up,
one-on-one call. No, it's like this is
right.
Yeah, servers are a little different.
Okay, so I just hit the disconnect button.
yeah,
Yes.
the little horizontal phone.
All right. See you guys. Thanks so much
See ya.
again.
Be
Thank you.
safe.
Bye-bye.
Be good.
All right. Boingo, do you want to tell people where they can find your stuff if they want to?
I mean, if they listen to this podcast, they know me. Boing a Writer on a variety of places: YouTube, Bluesky, Twitch.
All right.
Twitch.
Buster, where can people find you?
People can find me at my couple YouTube channels where I do video essays and cartoons. The cartoons are at Buster Tales and the video essays are at Buster Corp. Got some fun video essays cooking up and the cartoons heating up. So make sure to check both of those. I'm also at Blue Sky yapping about too many things like new Tokusatsu got announced. Of course,
Ooh,
you
yeah.
see me yapping about that.
All right. Codifer, where can people find you?
Hello, my name is Cody4, and you could find me on never_robot on Instagram, or Snowcone83 at Blue Sky, or multiple gaming platforms under the Snowcone83 gamer tag. So go tag a gamer, go find me, don't be a lamer. But in this
Right.
month, always be kind.
Hell yeah. And I'm Simeon Scott. I do various things across the internet, mainly yapping. You can find me on YouTube yapping about Supergirl a lot this month. I've been putting out videos on my channel. And I've also been doing toy photography sporadically forever, but also this year. So you can find all that stuff by looking at my card link in the video description. This has been Modular Components, a weekly hangout and shoot the shit show, sometimes with a guest. We will be back in a couple weeks with a new normal episode where we're just going to talk about whatever's on our minds. But we also have our monthly media cast where we discuss a specific piece of media, and that's going to be coming out with a new episode next week where we'll discuss Crisis on Infinite Earths, the original event comic. So if you want to hear that or just enjoyed our sort of manner of talking about things and you want more in general, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff or whatever podcasting platform you're listening to this on, and check out all our social media. I try and keep at least the Blue Sky regularly updated. And that's pretty much it. That's the episode. Thank you all so much for listening to our interview with Sophie Campbell, and we hope to hear you back here again some other time. Any last words, gentlemen?